What's up? What are y'all doing, everybody? Let's not waste any time. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's go.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
All right, you already know what I'm gonna say. Make sure that you're going over to patreon.com/AdrianExpression. I just put up this week's podcast like I do every Tuesday. The patrons and I always have so much fun over there, so do not hesitate to check that out. Also, my Avatar Adrian channel, my second channel, the link for that is in my description as well, so make sure that you check that out too. Now, this video has a lot of heavy news in it. So we're gonna have to start out with something light, a few things that are light and funny, right? So the first thing that's really, fun, happy news that's, gonna lift your spirit hopefully is that Chloe's album is called In Pieces and it's going to be coming out in March. Now, the interesting thing about this is the fact that she apparently said that none of the past singles are on the album. And I saw some mixed responses to that, but I'm just like, okay, so on one hand, y'all were dragging her for some of the singles that she released. And then on the other hand, y'all are mad that she's not putting the singles that y'all was just dragging on her debut album. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just interested to see what she's gonna put out, what she's gonna do, what like the direction is that she's going with this album, especially like I said, since everybody's so all over the place with what they want from Miss Mamas that I don't know, I'm interested to see what she's gonna do. Now, this Instagram post that she put up, so as you can see, the first single or the first piece as she calls it in this Instagram post will be coming out January 27th, so we have that to look forward to. It's called Parade Away apparently. So that's what's going on with Miss Chloe. I thought that was cute. It is the year of Chloe and Halle because as we already know, we're getting closer and closer to Halle giving us everything in The Little Mermaid. She said, if I'm going to have to take some steps for this twink on dry land, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what Ariel's gonna do. And we're gonna be following her every move and her every vocal pitch, her every vocal motherfucking run. You hear what I'm saying? I'm gonna be listening to the soundtrack. All right, so the revolving door of these award shows, the annual revolving door of these award shows is right in front of our faces because here, yet again, we have so many people complaining about the Oscars and how apparently the movie Nope was snubbed. The Woman King was apparently snubbed when we're talking about nominations, and a lot of black actors, black performances were snubbed. And I'm just like, every single year we have this conversation, y'all. Every single year. Oh my God, I cannot believe that they only gave it to 1.5 black people. Only 2.5 black people are nominated. Oh my God, I can't believe that the Oscars, the Academy is, oh my God, they're snubbing black art. I'm just like, okay. Okay, this is what they do. Like, what I put up, what did I say? I tweeted this. I said, I feel like we say the same things about the Oscars every year. What is it going to take for us to ignore their standards and not use them as benchmarks for like art, for our art? Because every year people act shocked at what these award shows are. So yeah, I mean, obviously, we know what it can do and does for actors in the industry. I know that it is an industry standard. It's something that is coveted, but it's just like, I think and I will keep saying this, I guess, until I am in my grave. I think we need to take the power away from these awards. I think that we need to understand that they cannot understand our art. They don't want to understand our art, and they should not be made the benchmark or standard for our art. We should not be going to them or seeing them as a valuable rubric for our art. Like, I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm not. Like, we can apply it career-wise or industry-wise. We can see or sense the value that it has and acknowledge that, but I don't think it should have that much, but it does. I don't think it should have that much power. But like, for us to be so surprised every time the Oscars come around and it's just like, oh my God, all this blackness got snubbed. Like, yes, it did. Where else? So why do we continue to look to them or these kinds of award shows for any kind of validation? I will not stop talking about this because I don't know I don't know what the future looks like. I don't know what a change would really look like, but it gotta be better than this shit, right? All right, y'all, so you remember all that stuff coming out about George Santos, this, I guess, openly gay Republican who aligns himself with the far right in government. Like I said before, while people who are on his side of the aisle are encouraging their constituents or just to go out there and interrupt drag brunches and interrupt drag library events, George Santos was out here as a whole drag queen, and apparently, right? So I guess his response to seeing this is just watch the video.
Not a drag queen in Brazil, guys. I was young and I had fun at a festival.
So yeah, he said, I was not a drag queen. I was young and had fun at a festival. Like, I was young and had fun at a festival. Like, okay, mama. And you're up here supporting anti-LGBTs legislation and bills and shit. So I don't know why he was trying to brush that shit off. Like, oh, it was just nothing. Like, no, you're literally out here as a whole drag queen trying to make the lives of queer people in this country even more difficult. Shut the hell up and sit your ass down. And that's it. And they're already talking about like your campaign finances and doing investigations to that shit and wondering what's going on with filings and shit like that. Like, you got other shit to worry about. Just like how you were having fun at this festival, we are having fun watching you be used as a gay tap dancer for the far right in government. Like, this is, I mean, we're not having that much fun, bitch, because obviously our lives are being affected, but we're having fun watching you act like we shouldn't give a fuck about the shit. Like, we definitely do, girl, get the fuck out of our faces, please. Why is it that these students, and it hurts even worse when it is an HBCU, because I'm just like, these students should feel safe and comfortable in these black students should be feeling safe and comfortable in these black universities and shit. Point blank period. You know what I mean? Obviously there will be different challenges that need to be tackled based off what kind of school you go into, whatever, but the challenges need to be tackled at least. Why are students out there protesting? Because, okay, Bethune-Cookman students are protesting and calling for the Board of Trustees' removal. They say that campus facilities have many issues the school isn't apparently addressing. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this kind of started out in the sports arena. Like, this protest started out in the sports arena, even though these issues are apparently, based off of what the students are saying, campus-wide. But it started off kind of like, from my understanding, in the sports arena. So in the beginning, administration was saying that kids have locker rooms and the kids are saying that they don't. Administration is saying that kids have showers in the football locker rooms, and the students are saying that that is not true. The students are saying that they are sharing helmets. And even further than that, because apparently this guy named Ed Reed, who was the head football coach over there, spoke up about these issues and then was let go, I guess. But not really. You'll see what I'm saying when I explain it further. But let go due to a breakdown of contract negotiations. So he was hired December 27th, but the university chose not to ratify his contract after he spoke up about these kinds of issues. I'm gonna talk about him a little later, but I'm gonna speak a little bit more about what the students are saying outside of just sports. The students are also saying that there are rats and roaches in the dorms. Apparently no hot water sometimes. They have to leave the windows open year round because there'd be no fucking AC in there. So absolutely terrible. So Ed Reed was trying to speak up about this kind of shit, and like he's very strongly worded in his live stream. He's very strongly worded, but I don't think that takes away from the passion that he has for his the kids around him. So apparently when he tried to speak up about it, the university, this is from my understanding, the university chose not to ratify his contract, even though he was just hired, you know, December 27th, chose not to ratify his contract. That was the tipping point that sent the students like, oh, we gotta say something, we gotta speak up. That was them choosing not to like confirm, ratify, like make sure that Ed Reed here was fully hired. The university doing that was the tipping point. Like I said, these students have been dealing with these issues. That was the tipping point. Like, we see this person here trying to speak up for us and y'all are treating him this way. Ed Reed said in his live stream, my vision is probably moving too fast for a lot of people. I'm not withdrawing my name as they say. They don't want me here. They do not want me because I tell the truth. It hurts. This hurt because people don't care about these kids like I do, and they should be the ones leaving, not me, because I don't want to. Apparently administration saw all this. He was cussing up a storm in the live stream, but like I said, I don't think that takes away from the passion And if no one else is gonna speak up for these kids, I don't care if this coach is cussing or whatever, like he's speaking up for these kids. You know what I mean? Administration apparently responded by saying that Ed Reed's behavior wasn't aligned with school values. The president said apparently, as we continued to observe him, we felt that his behavior was not aligned with the traditions of our founder. You have to remember that Ed Reed was somebody who previously apologized for the language that he used in a live stream from before. But in this live stream, he said about the school, he was saying, these motherfuckers ain't even cleaned my office when I got here. These buildings got trashed all up in it. I'm walking out here with the football team picking up trash. So it's just like, obviously Ed Reed is somebody who sees what's going on. I mean, from the outside looking in, if someone has a deeper understanding of this whole situation, let me know in the comments. But from what it seems like, this person, Ed Reed, was trying to stand up for his kids, stand up for at least the team that he was supposed to be coaching and shit, and just like, the situation here is garbage. So it's literally. So you can see why the students, like the university treating him that way or choosing not to ratify his contract, you could see why the students would be like, no, wait, we actually deal with the kinds of shit that Ed Reed's saying. And y'all treat him like this. No, we're going to protest. And that's exactly what they did. Listen to some of the things that the students were saying about their time on campus.
Are suffering. There are students right now in Joyner who have no AC. No AC. When I came to this school to check in this free semester, they turned me away from the door and they told me I could not come in. And it was 3:36 p.m. They took my refund check, but yet I still give and I give and I give to Cookman.
I know y'all saw the TikTok of us sharing helmets last year at the Miami game. Yeah, that's the type of stuff that we had to go through all last year. I just want to let y'all know real quick. They wasn't taking care of us at all. But yeah, we were sharing cleats too. All that stuff. Sharing cleats, helmets, gloves. Who buys a bunch of 4X gloves and expects some receivers to wear them?
At Bethune-Cookman, we don't have the opportunity to do better for ourselves. Last year, I was severely sick with bronchitis because I had mold in my room. I was not the only one among my peers that I know who got sick because they had mold in their room. I ate mold out of the cafeteria. I had to leave school early, and that made my grades go down because I was so sick. If we want change, we have to make change. It's not fair that I came to school to do better for myself, and I'm fighting for my life, literally. Literally. Blood coming out my nose, that's not right.
So after seeing all of that, right? After seeing all that the students are talking about, the president of Bethune-Cookman went on Roland Martin, and he was asked how he responds to students, not just football players, but students in general, right? Who are angry and protesting about mold or other conditions. What do you say to them? And look at some of the conditions that have been posted to social media that you got these kids in, right? And so when the president was asked that question, he responded like this. He said, with this smug look on his face, look at this shit. Smug look. This is what he said. He said, what I say to them is what I've been saying to them because I walk the campus every day when I'm on campus. What I say to them is that we're working on the issues. I've just invested $250,000 to help fix one of these buildings with mold or whatever. And then he says this. That's mildew. That's not necessarily mold, by the way. And it's just like, whoa. These students are paying thousands and thousands upon thousands of dollars to hear your fucking attitude on these shows and shit. Okay, I've been working hard. You're not working hard enough. Period. Because that's exactly what you would say to somebody who can't pay tuition. You don't have enough. Y'all ain't doing enough. And these kids are trying to build a life for themselves. Going to these, paying y'all so much fucking coin, and it's just sitting at the top. Where the fuck is it going? Where's it going? And then to hear his ass say, oh, that's mildew, that's not mold, by the way. First of all, as if it matters. Second of all, ain't that the same fucking thing? Third of all, can't all that shit get you sick? What the fuck? Like, what was the point of saying that shit? I don't know. If y'all gonna tell these students they gotta go to college, they gotta do X, Y, and Z to build a life for themselves, they have to pay this much money to even play the game, to even start, to be at the starting fucking line of shit, the least y'all could do is make sure they ain't breathing mold. The least you could do is make sure they live in and studying in humane environments. And then what's crazy is that you won't even be like, okay, you know what, that's really messed up. We gotta, fix the situation. You will deflect, gaslight, and what? I don't understand how people go into education or get into these administrative positions in education and don't have a passion for the students. You don't give a fuck. Like, you can, even if you thought that something was wrong or there was a miscommunication, you wouldn't act like that. You wouldn't sound like that when talking to students who are saying, hey, we need help. We're living in fucked up conditions. You know, it's terrible. It's terrible. If those students are already going to be dealing with the stressors of college life, the least that can be expected is that they will not be breathing in mildew and mold. Okay, since we, you know, gotta make sure we stay both or something, gotta know the difference. They shouldn't have to be, none of that shit. Deal with none of that shit.
You could blow me, I ain't the only, you so lonely, insecure, they don't control me. I ain't the only, press the holy, worship me, yeah, you could blow me. I ain't the only, you so lonely, insecure, they don't control me.